Okay, this is now week 6. Week 6 of the strength, mobility, conditioning. So last week I started the conditioning with the row and the bike. I've done really good, I feel really good after a week. My legs and arms and back were a bit sore, but they're gonna be. This week I'm starting the proper conditioning, like physically being able to. So instead of doing the strength work today, I'm working through 4 different exercises. The first one being the 5 rounds row, 2 minutes on, 1 minute 30 rest. So holding it under sort of a 2-minute RPM split. So that'll be fun. I like the row. So hopefully I get around 500 meters. So every 2 minutes, around 500 meters is a good pace. And then I'll have 4 or 5 minutes rest, more if I need it. And I'll be on to every 2 minutes on the minute is 16 cals. And then if I finish that within the minute, remaining time is my rest. So hopefully get a bit of rest. And then another rest for 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll do what I done the other day, which is my 2K row for time, which I got 7 minutes 59 before, so sub 8. So hopefully I can do that again, but maybe being a bit fatigued from the previous row and bike, I might get it over 8 minutes. So we'll see. It'll either warm me up or I'll just be too fatigued. And then 3 minutes rest onto the 10 minutes steady state on the bike, holding a 58 RPM for 10 minutes. It puts me in zone 2. It's hard, it's really hard for me, but I've made it through twice, so I know I can do it again, although I haven't done it with the conditioning before, so I don't really know how it's going to go. And the reason we're all doing this is to help condition, you know, my lungs and heart to be carrying sort of heavier weights for longer, and just general sort of fitness. It's like the 2 minutes, the 5 round row at the beginning is so sort of simulating working for a bit and then getting that rest. Having that rest, whether I like sit down somewhere and then carry on walking, and just sort of that stopping, rest, work, rest, work, rest, work. Right, yeah. I know how I'm going to feel already and what I'm probably going to say, if I can speak. Oh. I love rowing, I love rowing, I love rowing. Let's go.
Talk, go on.
No. Hi Dan.
It shows the hottest day of the year to do the conditioning, so good luck with that.
Yeah, it's really hot. Right, it's too hot.
Might be.
I haven't had food since breakfast.
Brace of sweat. It's a brace of sweat. Learn to love it.
I just feel weak. Just got to send it and see what happens. I'm deciding to get the first round on film. Why not? Why not? 5 rounds, 2 minutes on, 1.5 off. Setting 7 as well. Oh. It felt like I pulled it out of the joint. Back and everything on the way back, it felt like it was like trying to pull out my joint. Because I couldn't hold my shoulder in place, it just went up.
Just too like relaxed.
That is the row done. My shoulder, right shoulder, which is the one I had surgery on, felt like it was almost dislocating and like pulling out this joint on the way back. So I lowered the resistance to 6, still pulling around a 2 minute 500. So that's okay, I finished it, 5 rounds. Feel okay, obviously sweaty. But now I'm onto the bike, the EMOM. So every 2 minutes, hit 16 cals on a bike. It's good though, my back's really killing, is the main thing. Sort of when I'm pulling back on the row and getting to that sort of incline to pull further, and then sort of pulling myself back up with that back. That's what does my backing, where it's so weak. Never done calories on row, so I don't actually know what to expect for how hard to go. First 2 minutes will be experimenting that for the next 2 to see how hard I can go. So if I do it in like minute 30, I have 30 seconds rest, or split it up somehow. Just gotta send it. So I've got a minute left on my round 2. I've done about 16 cals in 1 minute. It's quite tough for me. Arms and legs are feeling it. It's only round 2. I've got 5 rounds, so 3 more. I'm going to try and beat it on every round. I've done a third round in about 40 seconds. It's pretty good. Gives me more rest, but I need it because I exerted harder. It's going to be tough last 2 rounds to 5 cals. That's when my legs start to go. I've done the last round in under a minute again, so I'm happy with that. My quads are fired up as fuck. Really good though. I haven't done that before. I keep looking into the lens, talking to you, talking to me. So good.
Legs.
Well, if you're still going, you finish on the bike? What? You finish on the bike? I've done I've done my 5 rounds.
Didn't ask me that.
What did you say?
Have you finished with the bike?
Oh, finish with the bike. I said I thought, did you finish on the bike? I thought you were caring about it.
No, I don't give a shit, sorry.
Oh, it is. Before I just was like, oh, I'll never get on that bike or row, ever. I never thought I'd be able to do that again. Like, but from barely walking. Now I'm putting myself in a state of barely walking from exercise and not just life every day, waking up. Take the days like this that I can do stuff to do stuff. Because there's going to be days where I might not be able to, like even my shoulder feels a bit better, but it feels a bit wobbly, like, and just a bit off. I don't know if I ramble, don't know, bloody hell. I'm going to have it on setting 7, might change it to 8 or down to 6, depending on how my shoulder and I feel. I'm hoping to get just sub 8 or near 8, 8:20 max.
Well, I see that zooming in. That was a 2k row. I got 4.5 minutes in, my back's just gone. I've been on my feet all day, and I've done the row just before on the bike. Like, it's just one of them things that I just can't push through that. I push through it to the point of I have to lay on the floor like and not stand. I can't explain the pain. It's not it's sharp pain, but it's achy pain at the same time. Fired up my whole back from lower to top. So I had about 800 meters left. I was putting really good time at the beginning and felt really good and confident, and then I just slowed down and just couldn't pull because it was just hurting too much.
Few things to consider though. It's like there's a lot to consider really. Bear in mind you've just done 2 things beforehand, so that's the first time you've tried the 2k row after doing 2 elements of conditioning before.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of lungs, how did that feel? Was you out of breath?
I was out of breath and I was just figuring out different breathing techniques.
Yeah.
So normally I'm trying to do one big breath on the way in and a big breath pull out. It gets to a point where I'm just so deprived of oxygen, I'm going in, out, and then by that time I'm pulling again. So sometimes I'm pulling but breathing out and then in on the last half of the pull. And it's just trying to get a rhythm, and it still works, breathing sort of twice as fast as I do at the start, because I need to get that quick intake of oxygen.
And even like other things to consider is your rest.
Yeah.
Did you rest long enough, or did you rest too long? Did you go into it cold? Do you think you have to re-warm up?
It wasn't 4 to 5 minutes, it was more 10, maybe even more.
So maybe consider re-warming up, just making sure everything's kind of loose again. Could just be that, where you've seized up. We've all done it.
I just think no matter what, my back would have went. It's just that feeling.
Like I say, note it down. Like I said, we're noting it down now.
Margin, dude.
It's a virtual note. Make sure you stretch off, finito.
Yeah.
And you're going to do a 30-minute WOD. Psych. Catch.
Camera toss.
Transition.
Please don't.
Transition.
That's a heavy, expensive camera.
Transition.